Well, hello, Coffee Time friends. How y'all doing? It is Wednesday evening. Get you a cup of coffee and watch Mama make some Mamaw's tomato dumplings.
Tomato dumplings?
Now, tomato dumplings is different than chicken dumplings, but kind of similar. Mama's going to show you what she's up to here.
Yeah. Let me get my bread down here.
Here's Mama's tomatoes, but she ain't going to use them tonight, she said.
No.
This is our little harvest. So we are starting to see some. And here's some crooked neck squash. Just one though. And here's some of those peppers. I'm enjoying these peppers.
I didn't pick the banana peppers because they wasn't hardly big enough.
But look, that's a nice little harvest of goodies. Is this going in here, Mama?
Yeah.
Alright, so this is 1 can of stewed tomatoes. And this is just happens to be a certain ounce can.
15 ounces or
14.5 ounce can.
I almost had it.
Nothing's in here but tomatoes now. So, and they're stewed.
Put me a little sprinkle of salt. Is that a black?
I didn't expect them all.
No, that's just
Just one of them ends you don't like. See, they even put them in there. Let's get over here where you can see Mama. Now you want a dash of salt?
Yeah, just the dash of salt because they're going to be sweet. That's good.
Alright. Dash of salt. Any other... Ooh. Make a little noise. Did you want some noise?
No. But I got it, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
It's kind of mashing these up a little. Now, Mommy made it out of her fresh tomatoes or her canned tomatoes. We never did that store-bought.
I was going to say, did you have store-bought vegetables? Or was it just basically what you was raised?
Basically what we raised.
Okay, so now what's next, Mama?
I got to put some sugar.
How much?
About a fourth a cup, I say.
A fourth of a cup?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then
I don't know if
we probably don't need to use the sugar bowl. We need to use the canister.
if I can do it.
I'll get it, Mama. Here, come over here. Now, Mama.
I can squat.
Oh, my Lord, this woman and her bending. She didn't bend over. She squatted. I wish I'd have showed you what she did.
Oh, no.
It was like a Jane Fonda aerobics or something. Did Jane Fonda do aerobics?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, she did something different.
She was an actress.
She had healthy stuff years ago or something. I don't know. On with the tomatoes. They're not healthy.
Fourth a cup of tomatoes.
Of the tomatoes? What's a cup of tomatoes in the tomatoes?
Sugar.
Oh.
You seen what I said. Now, I'm going to stick this on here and let it get hot real good. You're just picking.
Do y'all remember the chicken tenders the other night when I was doing chicken livers? She said, tenders?
I was just helping you right.
Well, I was just helping you out too.
You're terrible.
Come over here and tell them, Mama. Stand back on your spot. I'm going to put an X on the floor like they do in the movies.
I won't do it.
I know.
What do you want to tell me?
I want to tell you to tell them what you're going to do now.
Oh, I'm just going to let them get hot. And then, well, I can't even pick that up. With our loaf of bread, I'm going to take like 2 or 3 slices and pinch it up in there.
And you're making?
My mommy called it tomato dumplings.
Tomato dumplings.
Mm-hmm.
So
We
I can
don't
understand
bake it
that.
like
So
you did.
what I make is called scalloped tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
It's different than what you're doing. I start out with a half stick of butter and a 9x9.
Well, I might put a drop of butter in this.
And I put my tomatoes in there and I put my sugar, pinch of salt, and then I cover it with light bread. Just break it up over the top. And then I drizzle a little bit of butter over it and put a little sugar on it. and bake it in the oven.
And get it crusty.
And get it crusty, crunchy. That's my favorite. And the bottom of the bread's soggy, the top of the bread's crunchy. And it's just a little piece of heaven right here on earth. And it's like a dessert.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is tomato dumplings.
Tomato dumplings. You're seeing it here, folks. Tomatoes are in, so everything we think about involves a tomato.
I'm going to go check on that and see.
She's going to leave y'all. What y'all up to? What are y'all eating? Y'all have any tomato recipes to share with us? Heiner's brand. Back up here. Come here. Come here.
Come here.
Now. This thing's so jumpy tonight. Heiner's bread made here in Huntington, West Virginia. Is it really, Valerie? We love it. It's one of our favorites. Now, we were butternut users for years. And they changed it. And Sunbeam. I read a little thing about Sunbeam, how they changed theirs at Christmas. I hadn't really ever noticed it, but they do. This is some good bread. Heiner's is good bread. Heiner's old fashioned. They have a 2-pound loaf too. I like the 2-pound loaf as well. But yeah.
That's what our store carries.
This is what Save-A-Lot carries, but we often will go to other stores and shop.
This
And
ain't Heiner's, is it?
Heiner's.
Heiner's.
We will often go to other stores and shop, but we come back by Save-A-Lot and grab our bread because we like it that well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of breads, I don't know, I just don't like them as well as Heiner's. And
We got one here a while back. It was, if you laid it out on a plate to make you sandwich, it was dry like before.
It wasn't Heiner's. It was not Heiner's. All right, Mama. So we're gonna let that boil. That's it. This is supper. I would show you something else. I should be chopping up something, making some dressing for something. I ain't doing it.
You ain't doing nothing.
We ain't having anything but tomato dumplings. So the pressure is on.
Well, we ate a late lunch.
The pressure's on, Mama.
No, it's on you, obviously.
The pressure is on. Mama, if it ain't good, that's the whole supper. So what are you all eating?
We're eating good food.
Let's see, somebody here says, she just had surgery. John, get up and lift something. I tried, whoever you are. Dorothy replied. I don't know who said it. Lynn Duke. Lynn, I appreciate you all telling me what to do every video. But I tried and she wouldn't let me. But she didn't bend over. She didn't break any rules. Sometimes y'all imply that I don't help Mama or I don't do something. It's not that I don't. She's just hard to help. Tell them, Mama.
Yeah, I'm hard.
Lynn Duke's worried, Mama, that I mistreated you. Lynn, calm your nerves. It'll be okay. Tell her, Mama, you didn't suffer.
I ain't suffering yet.
And you're hard to handle.
Yeah, that I am.
And she won't listen. I couldn't spring across the counter and beat her to the sugar. Because she doesn't have it. She squatted down in a squat formation with a hand on top of the counter. And she grabbed that sugar with one hand and she slung it up there. And she was already up. And that's just the way it went down, Lynn. Now, next time, if I can swing into action and beat her to something, I will.
You won't beat me.
No, that's true. It's a challenge. It's a challenge for Mama. Now, that's the truth. That's the gospel, folks.
No,
If she's told not to do something, it's a challenge for her. Challenge accepted, she says. Let me see if I can make it happen.
I can do other things to make stuff work. I've done laundry. I took my grabber, got it out of the washer. You didn't know that today.
No, see, Lynn, there, I failed her again. Lynn, you should write a book on all the ways I failed Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Because here I have let her do laundry today.
And I got them in the dryer, and they're in the dryer going. So, I'll leave that my bowl up.
Now, Mama's just putting some light bread in here, and this is the dumplings.
Yeah. Now,
Is this would have to qualify as one of the, I've heard them called depression recipes, and
yeah,
making do with what you had.
I guess this is it. And she may have not used light bread all the time.
I'm sure if she used bread, she probably made it homemade.
Biscuit bread. But she would do this when I was growing up. And it was like a dessert because it's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy made the tomato gravy we had last night.
Yeah.
And it's more, you've seen it with salt and pepper and bacon grease. But this was kind of my favorite. Guess why?
Because it has sugar in it, Mama.
It's got sugar in it and it's sweet. Like I said, we used what we had.
Now let's get a bird's eye view here, Mama. That one's sitting inside that pot. So that's just like you're feeding the ducks at the park. Used to. You can't do that no more.
No, they don't want you to feed it.
Because it ain't healthy for the little critters.
You
There's no
want
near.
another slice in there?
Oh, Mama, this is you. If there ain't many tomatoes, whatever you say, we'll go with.
We'll go with one more slice.
Okay, one more
And then
slice.
I want to put it back on and reheat it. And it's just sweetened tomatoes with bread in it.
Tomato dumplings.
Mm-hmm.
Sweetened tomatoes.
Yeah, they're not real sweet, but
A fourth of a cup.
well, for that can, but we Mommy liked this and we did a lot. Daddy liked the gravy and he fixed it more than
And I like noodles in it. I like elbow macaroni and tomatoes.
one lady that lived down below us. My oldest sisters, not the oldest one, was telling me about it, next to the oldest one. She said a lady, and her macaroni and tomatoes, she made it sweet. And I said, I never did like that.
It could be a taste you could learn
Her
to.
husband won't get that. I'm gonna put this back, let it get
It could be something we could learn to like, sweet macaroni and tomatoes. I don't know. I like mine with a little bacon grease and a little salt. It tastes good that way.
And pepper. I put pepper in my macaroni and salt.
Dorothy Jean Brown says, I agree, get up. What do y'all want me to do, Dorothy? Dorothy Jean Brown, what would you like for me to do?
Dorothy.
You want me to stand up so you can see my shirt? Because that's how you'll be able to see. Some of y'all need to relax and just watch. And not worry if I'm up or down or sitting or if Mama picks up something. We live here. We do this every day. We okay. So Dorothy Jean, it's okay. We called it cream tomatoes.
I don't put
Oh, you put cream in it with bread? Now that would be good.
They probably couldn't.
Cute top, Mama. Susan says.
Well, thank you.
Hi, John and Momma. Hi, Kimberly. How are you? Thank you for those stars. Yvonne, you're too sweet. Hey, Shirley. Lois. Cheez-Its. Now, that would be good.
What? I can't hear.
And she said Cheez-Its. They've got some good ideas on here, Mama. We may have to write a tomato cookbook. Homemade barbecue sandwiches. Kim, that sounds good. I've been hungry for rice pudding with raisins. Shirley, I like that too. We've never made it, but I've had it places. Mama, you ever made rice pudding?
No.
Maybe we should get a recipe. Meatloaf, mashed potatoes, carrots, and broccoli.
Oh.
Speaking of recipes, you all, was this done?
Yeah, it just has to have.
You all had mentioned the other night, one of y'all did, and said, was we going to make any out of Mama's Amish cookbook? And I forgot all about that little booger with this, what was his stomach? Something?
Pig stomach.
Big stomach. Ugh. There was 2 pages in there we weren't going to make. But I'm going to make some of those things. So I'm going to get that book out. Thank you for reminding us. And we're going to try some Amish recipes just to see for something new, something different. Let's bless it, Mama.
Okay.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this meal. We thank you for these precious hands that prepared it. Dear Lord, we just thank you for Mamaw teaching Mama how to make it, just passing that along. And now we're going to pass that on to our friends. And dear Lord, we just pray that you'll be with us, watch over us, lead and guide and direct us in all that we do. And dear Lord, we just pray that you put a hedge of protection on each and every person here. And during all the prayer requests that are out there and all the need and all the hurt, dear Lord, you pray that you'll take care of that as well. In your precious name we pray. Amen. All right, Mama, let's try this. Now, here it is, folks. It's just like downtown. You see that? Look at that. That's pure goodness. Let's give it a whirl. Okay. Give y'all a bite.
Good tomatoes.
That's bread hanging off from there. That ain't cheese or nothing. It's just tomato and light bread and sugar and a dash of salt.
Like Mama used to make. But we ate it like dessert.
This is a dessert. This is as good as any dessert I've ever had of tomatoes or something. Tomatoes are fruit, so could this be a cobbler?
Dumplings, cobbler dumplings.
Tomato
What
dumplings.
did we have? Chicken cobbler?
Mm-hmm.
So this is tomato cobbler, tomato dumplings.
Tomato dumplings. Now this would be a great dessert. This would be a wonderful dessert.
We ate what we raised mostly, and
So we're just having dessert for supper tonight. This is right up your alley.
we had such a big lunch.
During the Depression, if you had a loaf of bread, that was a wonderful thing.
Well, I wasn't there during the Depression.
So if you had you some tomatoes that you'd grown, and you'd made biscuits that morning, or maybe you had made a loaf of bread. You know, they used to make their own breads. And you didn't want to just eat tomato sandwiches, or you just wanted a hot meal. Can you imagine whoever came up with this first, what might have been on their mind, and what a wonderful treat this would have been?
When you're little and you don't get much sweets, this was wonderful.
And just to change the taste up.
Mm.
There's nothing I can compare it to. It tastes very much like the scallop tomatoes that I make.
Except it's not crunchy.
Except it's not crunchy toasty on top of the sugar. But it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good. It's almost like pineapple casserole. Not that it tastes anything like pineapple casserole, but pineapple casserole is one of those side dishes that eats best as a dessert. You could serve this as a side dish, but it would really make a great dessert.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Now that was Mommy's quick tomato dumplings we ate for.
Mamaw had 10 kids. 2 of them passed away as babies, which was not uncommon for that era. But can you imagine having 8 kids, a husband, and neighborhood children? You had to come up with some dishes like this. Now, I don't know if Mamaw came up with this. I'm sure she was passed down.
She was born in Alabama. My grandmother was from Alabama.
We have ties to Alabama.
My mommy was born in Decatur, Alabama.
Decatur. This is delicious.
I reckon it is. Makes me think of my childhood, sure enough.
Mm-hmm. What else was Mamaw's specialty?
Lord, I don't know. She cooked every day. Every morning she fixed a big breakfast. She made biscuits and gravy and some kind of meat and eggs every morning. She wanted you to eat good before you went to school. Had tails wet against the cook.
Mm.
And she always wanted us to do that. And when we went to the little school up there, we would walk home for lunch. She'd have lunch ready.
What was lunch like?
It's just corn and beans and potatoes or whatever.
So it's a meal.
Mm-hmm. And on wash days, we got a sandwich if she had the stuff.
You've told that on wash days was a fun day because you got to, basically for your era, that was fast food day.
Mm-hmm. We didn't know what fast food was. We never ate it at a restaurant.
Did they have fast food then? Not around here.
They had some restaurants downtown.
But they didn't have.
We didn't.
They didn't have a drive-through or, used to. I remember seeing shows and reading about where people was more picnics, and if you was going on a trip, you had to take your lunch because there was nowhere to wheel in and get a fast meal and get back on the road. So
we didn't have a car to go nowhere, so I don't know what that was like either.
You didn't need a drive-through. You didn't have the drive-through, did
No.
you? Meatloaf, mashed potatoes, carrots, and broccoli. Sue, that sounds good. Did I just read that?
You read it a while ago. I think you stopped.
I don't remember saying broccoli. I don't remember saying meatloaf.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we did.
Excuse me.
Wash day at our house was beans and cornbread. Melinda,
We had them.
Mama said that was every day. My uncle hates pinto beans. He said he had them as much as a kid. He ate all he ever wanted. It looks delicious. Well, give it a try, Paulette.
You like sweet and something sweet.
This was a 15-ounce can of stewed tomatoes. Mama chopped them up. We put a dash of salt. Salt makes anything sweeter that you're adding sugar to. And she put a 1/4 cup of sugar, boiled it, and then she dropped her light bread in it, and she put about 5 slices of light bread in it.
Wasn't
I thought you put 3 and then went back and put 2 more.
No. I think it's 3 total. I'm not.
3 total, she said.
If they watch it, they can tell
2
us.
and 1 maybe. But you put what you want. And then got it hot again and put it, we ate it. That was it. Tomato dumplings. Now you could do your own dough and drop them in there and boil them.
Yeah.
I'd leave it boiling. But the light bread trick works, and that was Mamaw's way of doing it, and it's delicious.
We would eat canned tomatoes. We would eat them sweet with this way, and Daddy made the tomato gravy, and then we just get plain tomatoes and put salt in them, eat them that way with crackers sometimes.
Mm-hmm. I love to take tomatoes, dice them up, saltine crackers, crumble them up, and put a little spoonful of JFG mayonnaise or JFG salad dressing or mayonnaise in it, stir it up. Tastes almost like a tomato sandwich. It's delicious.
And then we'd eat them sometimes at night with a little bit of sugar in them, just plain tomatoes. We'd eat blackberries the same way.
I like blackberries that way.
Just eat with sugar. Daddy said one time, this was through the Depression when stuff was really hard to get. Said he was working for people in the fields, and he went in to eat and said they had stuff he didn't want, and said he was hungry, and he said, I'll eat blackberries. I'll know that'll satisfy me and keep me from being so hungry. And like I said, it's through the Depression. They didn't have sugar much, had to have stamps for it and stuff. And he got a bowl of blackberries out, and he said, instead of leaving them just plain, they'd put a lot of salt in them. Mm-hmm. He said, I ate them what I had out instead of wasting them. Said, but I sure didn't like them.
So I asked how Mama's eyes doing. Her second eye surgery's doing great. Better than the first one. But the first one, we're dropping in it every 3 hours and putting drops in it. It's helping. So,
all except I got shampoo in it this evening and it's burning a little.
Mama,
couldn't help it.
Quit putting shampoo.
It was pure accident.
You mean, even after all that?
That was on this one I taped up.
Oh, you didn't tape both of them?
No, I have to see a little. This is the older one. It can get wet. Don't tell them how bad I look. Look worse than the fly, didn't I?
I was on the phone. And I was sitting here, and Mama comes in, and she gets the plastic wrap out of the drawer, and she rips off a piece about that wide, and she lays it on the counter, and she commences to folding it. And I'm sitting here thinking, what is she doing with that plastic wrap? She folded it and folded it till she made her a little square about that big. And
I put it on my eyes.
she motioned to me and she said, I'm gonna go take a shower. I said, hold on. I said, what are you doing with that plastic wrap? And she stuck it up over her eye. And I laughed because it looked
Out
kind
loud, really loud.
I said, what are you doing? She said, I can't get water in it. I'm gonna take this on my eye. So she taped up one eye and got shampoo in the old eye. We call it the old eye.
New eye, old
We
eye.
call it the old eye and the new eye. I don't know if we told you all that yet. And she said, put some drops in. I said, old eye or new eye? And she says, on the old eye.
Can't put them in the new one yet.
The old eye is a little redder and a little, but she's seeing out of it good. So it's a total success. I mean, she can see so much
more
better.
blurry because it's,
Dry and scratchy.
yeah.
So with the tears, these drops don't have nothing to do with the cataract surgery. Just that the cataract surgery made that eye extremely dry, and the doctor told that happens. And but the new eye's doing good.
Mm.
You can see really clear out of it.
I can see clear out of it, yeah.
Yeah. So
Hopefully it don't get dry and scratchy.
I told her, I said, Mama, why don't you tell me about your pair of swim goggles? She said, this saran wrap works. That goes right back to use what you have what you use.
Well, it worked on this one when I took Cheryl.
I'm gonna get you some swim goggles now that you got.
Can I see out of them?
Well, Mama, I reckon you can get clear ones, can't you?
I don't know. You're talking about something I've never had.
You moms out there that dads that have kids, you can buy swim goggles even like at the Dollar Tree, can't you? Ain't that the ones that got rubber?
Oh,
Do kids
those
still-
things, big things they were.
Do kids still wear them? I reckon they
When they
do.
go scuba diving, they have on some kind of glass.
Chicken quesadillas, that sounds good.
Yeah,
Betty.
you like those.
Crackers, tomatoes, salad, delicious. I love it, Betty.
Mhm.
I love saltine crackers, tomatoes, and a little bit of salad dressing or mayonnaise. Not a lot. I don't. You don't want a little, but you just stir it up and it tastes so good.
When I was little, I cut up apples and tomatoes is what we had there.
And you come.
And a few crackers crumbled up in it. Give it a salt.
We'll make that one night.
Crackers, that ain't nothing to make.
It's like tomato dumplings. It's just a quick little snack you used to have.
Yeah.
What'd you call it? Apple pandati?
I called it apple pandati. I didn't know what it was.
We don't know what we're talking about, but Mama called it apple pandati. And she took tomatoes and diced them up with apples and saltine crackers and mayonnaise.
No,
No.
just crackers and apples and bananas.
Bananas?
It's been a long, hard time. Where did I get bananas?
I don't know.
Apples and tomatoes and crackers.
Saltines?
Mm-hmm.
Apples, tomatoes, and crackers.
And then the
Saltines.
tomato juice would soften the crackers, but the crackers would salt it.
And you called it apple pandati?
Mm-hmm. We'd make it and eat it in our
Who
plate.
made that name up?
I don't remember. It was so long ago.
Apple pandati.
They are such a thing up there.
I guess.
I don't know.
Some of you chefs out there know. Stewed tomatoes with velveted cheese melted on top with macaroni. You know what? I think I'd like that. So you're just really saying macaroni and cheese with tomatoes. That would be good. I used to eat crackers and grape jelly. Lori, I like that too. Just saltines. You know, if you're trying to eat something for lunch, if you have a cracker, you can do pretty good. Now here's a real cheat. Some of y'all that work in an office know you got this in your desk drawer. So I always keep those snack crackers with peanut butter. You just buy them, and you buy a whole pack of them. You can take 2 or 3 of them with you where you're going. I keep one of those in my briefcase. If I'm in a long meeting and I get hungry and my sugar does a little something, which I usually don't have problems, but sometimes I want to have a pack of them in there. And I keep a pack or 2 in my desk drawer. Well, one day I had to skip lunch. I had a late meeting, an early meeting. It was just one of those days. And I opened up a pack of them crackers and I thought, And there, lo and behold, was some grape jelly in my drawer too from a biscuit day. And I just squirted a little bit of that grape jelly on top of that peanut butter cracker. It was delicious. Peanut butter and jelly cracker is what it turned into. And so now, occasionally, I'll think I'll just eat a peanut butter and jelly cracker for lunch. Because it's quick and easy. Or saltines. I can take saltines and mustard. I always keep a squeezed bottle of mustard in my drawer. And I have some saltines stuck in there too. Just like a few packs of crackers and a saltine. There's always room but next to the files, where you can stick your snacks. And crackers and mustard is a wonderful lunch. And I like crackers and hot sauce too. Basically, the cracker is the part you're getting for nutrition, and the other is just a little bit of taste.
I'd eat crackers and peanut butter.
The cracker, peanut butter, and a little bit of grape jelly out of a Hardee's or McDonald's leftover
Squeeze
breakfast pack is good. Sometimes I'm kind of ashamed to admit it, but sometimes if I go through McDonald's, I don't even have any intention of eating that jelly. None whatsoever. And I'll say, can you got me a couple of packs of jelly in there? Because I'm thinking you're running low on cracker jelly.
Oh my goodness. You're like Dennis the Menace. I read on there where it said he's at a restaurant, him and his mother eating a little cartoon thing. Said, do you have extra ketchup? Said, we're running low. I need to take some home.
I don't eat jelly on my biscuits for 2 or 3 reasons. For one reason, it's just extra sweet, extra whatever. Another reason, I've never successfully eaten jelly on a biscuit in a car without getting it on my shirt. Never. Not even one time.
I love jelly on my biscuits.
I can't do it. I can do it here. But driving down the road with the jelly and the biscuit, even if I wrap it, it'll slide out somewhere, or I'll get to work and I'll have like a glob of jelly right there. So I just quit doing that mess. And I don't like it anyway, really. I'd rather just have the plain biscuit. And I don't do that often either. Most of the time, if I get coffee, that's all I want. But if I do get a biscuit every once in a while, I'll ask for that extra jelly just to put in my desk drawer, just so I can squirt it on a cracker and peanut butter. And don't ask me, don't say, well, John, why don't you just buy you a jar of jelly? Because a jar of jelly won't keep in a drawer. It has to be those to-go packs. They got you right where they want you.
Talk them to death.
Do you think that a store could carry some to-go packs of jelly so we could have them? I know, somebody's going to tell me where I can get them. Use jam. You mean like with seeds in it?
Mm-mm.
I'm not a big jam fan.
We never did eat jam.
Love peanut butter. Crazy about jelly. You're not crazy about jelly? I like the peanut butter and crackers with a little squirt of jelly. It's a good apple pan dowdy. Was like slab apple pan squares.
What?
Oh, so Mama, it had apples in it. You were so close.
What is it now?
She said like apple squares, apples in a pan, and square. You cut them out in squares, and it's apple pan dowdy, DOWTY. I do like jelly on hot buttered biscuit. Yeah, I don't ever order those. Now I do like those. Like if somebody brings some, I'll get a butter biscuit with some jelly. But I'm talking about like a sausage biscuit, and then squirt jelly on it, and then try to eat that without getting all over you driving down the road. Can't do it. It was not. You are the one trying to start negativity. Oh, come on now. I don't know. Somebody's trying to start some negativity. Folks, we ain't gonna do no negativity.
Just pray for him and go on.
Pray for him and go on, like Mama said.
They're sad people if they have to be negative about
Yeah, we're not worried about that foolishness. We ain't got time for that foolishness. Life is short. Life is hard. Let's find a reason to smile. We're talking about peanut butter, crackers, and jelly. Now, there ain't nothing negative about that.
If you had an allergy against peanut butter.
Well, I mean, but we don't have to be negative.
No.
Folks, we're going to go. We're going to say goodnight. We're going to say have a great evening. It's pretty here. The temperature is cooling down a little bit, but it's still hot. And I'm going to sip on this rest of this cup of coffee till church time. If I can't have nothing for lunch or breakfast but coffee,
You'll make it.
I'll make it. Say good night, Mama.
Good night, Mama, and God bless you all.
Thank you for the delicious recipe tonight.
It was good, wasn't it?
It was. I should have known you'd come up with something sweet.
Yeah. It's good. If you're a little kid and
No, I'm a big kid. I like it.
Cold in the winter and get
It's hot and I like it.
It was real good.
It's delicious, Mama. Say good night, Mama.
I said good night, Mama. God bless you.
That was our second goodbye. Y'all have a blessed night. See ya.
Bye-bye.